Mr. Jamal, thank you so much, Brother Jamal. May the Lord bless you. Elizabeth Boro, thank you so much, my dear. May the Lord bless you. Yes. May the Lord bless you so much for keep being on standby for my live show as we discuss matters pertaining traveling. And as I always do my introduction, because it is good for people, for someone to introduce themselves. I am a travel expert, having worked in the aviation industry for many years to date. So I'm a travel document check expert. I can advise on visa requirements on various countries in Europe, in US, Canada, and even in the UK and other destinations, e.g. Turkey, Israel, the Middle East. So welcome for the live show and say hi to me when you get in. I welcome you with the love of God. May the Lord bless you. Welcome and say hi to me as you get in, as we discuss matters pertaining international air traveling, because I deal with international air traveling. I work in the airport. So as you get in, say hi to me and like the video, please, as we discuss important matters regarding traveling. And you can ask any question regarding airport, regarding international traveling, regarding requirements for the US entry. I shall talk random things regarding the UK entry point, regarding entry point in the UK, regarding coming to Kenya. Yes, because I know there are people who want to visit the US, some want to visit UK, some want to go to Germany, others want to come to Kenya for holiday. Yes, and we are all blessed. As you get in, kindly say hi to me, my dear ones. And tap. That's up. Thank you for your support. Thank you for giving me company all the time when I come live. The last time I was live, I think, is when, maybe 3 days or 4 days ago. It's been a while. And I like doing the live because there are people who normally have questions regarding traveling. And it is good to keep updating ourselves. So when you come in, kindly say hi to me as we discuss matters regarding traveling. Yes, what you are supposed to do in the airport, how you are supposed to conduct yourself when you are arriving from an international destination to Kenya or to any other destination. Yes. Welcome and say hi. Welcome and say hi kindly. Welcome, and as you get in, you say hi, so that we can start our live show regarding international traveling and international arriving. Because remember, we have got international departures and arrivals, and we have to know how to conduct ourselves on the departures and even on arrivals, and the requirements of airports. Because most of the time, most requirements are the same. Though the visa requirements may not be the same, the entry requirements of various countries they are normally very similar. Because whenever you are going to an airport, to arrive in a particular airport, you need to have the entry requirements of that country. So if you don't need a passport, there are some people who don't need even a passport when they are traveling to various destinations. Yes, there are some people who do not need visas depending on the travel requirements of the particular countries. So that is what we're gonna discuss today. So as you get in, kindly say hi to me. Thank you so much for your support. So what are you supposed to have? For example, today we can even share some nice tips regarding Kenya, because Kenya is a main touristic destination. Thank you for liking the video. Say hi to Miss kindly. Thank you for the like. Thank you so much. Welcome to the live show as we discuss matters pertaining international traveling and international arriving, because there are people who normally depart and others arrive. And it is always good to know how you are supposed to conduct yourself at arrivals and when you are departing. Barry Walking, thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much, Barry. May the Lord bless you for the thumbs up. Thank you for giving me company. I'm so happy for you, Mr. Barry. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. May the Lord bless you so much. Are you still walking? Yesterday, was it yesterday you walked until I was like, you are walking very far. I didn't know whether you came back by bus or you came back on foot. Yesterday you had a long walk. Very, very nice. Yes, it was very entertaining, by the way. You can plan and come and walk in Kenya one time. Yes, thank you so much for your support, Mr. Barry. I love your walking videos. Yesterday was like how you are walking. You walked for a very long distance, and I was wondering whether you are going to you went back on foot, back home on foot, or you trekked back home. That is very healthy. Yes, thank you so much, my viewers. Today we are going to discuss matters regarding traveling, because I have been saying I have been in the airport for many years to date, so I can give tips on traveling internationally, on arriving internationally, because even at arrivals you need to know how to conduct yourself. Oh, thank you so much, Barry. Yeah, thank you. Eunice, how are you? Welcome so much, my dear, to my live stream. Yes, I am your travel expert, my dear, because I've been there. Oh, thank you. I'm so fine in the Lord. Yes, thank you for coming to my live. Yes, I'm your visa expert and I'm your travel expert. I can advise you on how to travel to the US, to Europe, coming to Africa in most of the countries like Tanzania, Kenya, international arrivals, how you are supposed to conduct yourself when you are arriving in an airport, because there are some requirements at arrivals and some at departure. Yes, because I have seen, because of working in the airport for many years. Yeah, thank you so much, Eunice and Barry. You can connect. And remember, when we connect, we connect organically. Yes, Eunice, I've got a YouTube channel also. Yeah, she does lifestyle, and Mr. Barry does. Yes, Mr. Barry does walking videos. He normally shows where he lives. Very nice scenes, beautiful scenes. So you can connect and be watching each other's videos, because that is how you can connect to someone organically. So you connect, turn on the notification, be watching the videos. If you can't watch the live, you can only go back and watch the replay, because it is very powerful to grow together. Oh, thank you so much. That is so beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, that is powerful. This life needs people to have unity, because even the Bible says, in unity, God commands a blessing. When you are in unity, God commands a blessing. But when you are divided, God cannot work with you. Because remember, God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus, they work in harmony. So even us on earth, when we are living in this earth before we depart, we should always live in unity, love, because God is love. Otherwise, without love, no one can see God. Yes. So today we're going to talk about travel issues, arrivals issues. They are going to be random issues. Today I'm not going to be specific. I shall talk on arrival issues, departure issues, and even arrival in Kenya, because I know there are people who love traveling to Kenya for holiday, and Kenya is a very beautiful country for holiday. Yes, Kenya is a very nice tourist destination, and when you have a tour guide, it can be very, very convenient for you. It's always good when you are traveling to a foreign country to have there are people who do tour guide. Yeah, who can take you through, because it is good to have someone who is guiding you, so that you can know where to visit, which hotels are the best, which cabs are cheap and affordable, and the security situations in different places. Because remember, in all the countries, there are some places that are very safe, some are safe. Yeah. Then, Eunice, you can plan and come to visit Kenya. We have got very nice tourist destinations, and it is very affordable because you can look for cheaper things. It's very affordable, by the way. Especially when you have a local who is showing you around, it is very affordable. Yes. Kenya is very nice, by the way. Nairobi is very nice, very safe. Nairobi City is very safe, by the way, Eunice. Yeah. And we have got very many good things in Kenya. Like, for example, I talked about the Masai Mara. Masai Mara is a very, very nice touristic destination. Not very, very affordable, by the way. You can go by bus. You can go by cab. Some people even go by cab. Yes, you hire maybe Uber. Maybe you hire Bolt to Masai Mara. We have got Mombasa also. It is not expensive, Eunice, depending on how you plan it. Yes, you can come to Kenya, and if you have a tour guide to take you to maybe to Masai Mara, you can be taken to Tsavo, because we have got even Tsavo National Park, East and West. Tsavo East, Tsavo West. Those are very, very phenomenal touristic destinations, by the way. Yes, Kenya is a very nice destination. So I can touch about Kenya because I had done about Kenya in my previous video, but my major line of career is the airport, because I clear people to the US, to Europe, to UK, to Turkey, and everywhere. And I normally advise on visa requirements. I can advise on visa interviews, because people normally even fail interviews when they go to the embassy to get visas, especially in the US embassy. So that is my line of career. I don't issue visas. But I'm a travel expert, as in I can tell you, Eunice, you need this document to go to Germany. You can choose this flight to transit to go to Turkey. Because remember, we have got transit rules and we have got entry rules. So we have got so many rules in the airport that sometimes people do not normally know. Then we have even other documents that maybe look like travel documents, but they cannot be used for traveling. For example, Eunice, you could be coming to Nairobi to connect, because mostly in Nigeria, they normally come to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, to connect to Europe. Maybe they are going to Brussels, maybe going to Sweden, or even to the US. They could come from Nigeria on a KQ flight to Nairobi, departing on another flight maybe to Europe. And sometimes people normally have wrongful documents for transit points. Because remember, there are people who need visas even on transit. There are people when they are transiting, for example, a particular country, they need a visa for transiting, even though they have a visa for the destination. For example, Eunice, you could be coming to Kenya or even Ethiopia anyway, because we have got even a flight in Ethiopia, Ethiopian Airlines. You could come from Nigeria, maybe Lagos, go to Addis Ababa Bole International Airport. You board a flight to the Schengen territory. The Schengen territories have done them in the previous videos. Or for example, you come to Nairobi, you board a flight from Nairobi via London to a Schengen territory, because maybe you have got a Schengen visa for visit. That is where many people make mistakes. You have got a Schengen visa for visiting, maybe, for example, Germany, or maybe Sweden, maybe France, Italy, Schengen visa type C. And you are visa national, for example, like myself. Yeah. Whatever you love to do, Eunice, you always tell God. Because when you tell God something, He opens the door for you. For example, when I was working in the airport, when I started working, by the way, many years back, when I was a young mother. I started working in the airport when I was very young, by the way. So when I started working, I did a confession that I have come to the airport to work. And because I have come to work in the airport, one day I'm going to travel to where these flights come from. And I flew to one of the days. I flew out, by the way. Because when you confess something, you possess it. So it is good to know, for example, when you come to Kenya, when you come to the airport, how to conduct yourself. For example, when you are arriving in Kenya, because arrivals is also important. Arrival destination is also important. I would prefer for someone who is coming to Kenya as a visitor. Always tell God what you want, Eunice. As long as your motive is genuine. Remember, God only answers prayers if the motive is genuine. Rifodhi, how are you? Wow, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Welcome. As we talk about Kenya and other requirements for traveling even in the US. Today I'm going to talk about Kenya. I can touch the US, by the way. Yeah. Before the end, by the way, you connect with Eunice. Yeah, I know you don't have a channel, but Eunice have a lifestyle channel. Because you know this channel is for connections. Yeah. Thank you so much. You are so lost. What happened? You went out. You went to the US. Or you are just around. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming back. May the Lord bless you. Yes, I did the last video, I think 3 days ago. It had been a while, by the way. Yeah. So, when you come, for example, when you are arriving in Kenya, for example, or you are just around, oh, okay, thank you so much. I know sometimes you can be caught up somewhere, maybe you are not able to connect because you have also your stuff to do. But you can, yeah, that's so nice, before the Jane. May the Lord bless you so much for always giving me support, genuine support. So when you are coming to Kenya, you land at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport because that is the main airport. So when you land in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, it is always advisable, if you want to hire a cab, you can hire Uber. Enik Ud, thank you so much, my dear. How are you? Oh, thank you for your visit. Welcome as we talk matters regarding visit, regarding international traveling and international arrivals. Because international arrivals is also another thing that people should know when they are arriving in international airports. For example, when you are entering the United States of America, it is good to know how you are supposed to conduct yourself so that you can have a smooth road to it, a smooth flow to enter that country. When you are entering the United Kingdom, you are supposed to know how to conduct yourself. Yeah. Because Enik, anyways, good to introduce myself, though I did the introduction when I was starting. I've worked in the airport for many years to date. I am a trainer in travel documents, so I have got a wide knowledge of traveling, a wide knowledge of nations of the world, a wide knowledge of how to conduct yourself in the airport and the requirements. Yes, and today I said that I will touch on Kenya again because I talked about Kenya. Yeah, the entry requirements for Kenya. I talked about the yellow fever. This is just a recap before we continue. We talked about the yellow fever certificate. Whoever is entering Kenya that is older than 9 months must have a yellow fever vaccination certificate, a valid one. Because remember, when you are taking the jab, it stays for 10 days before it matures in your body. So after being taken the jab, after 10 days, you cannot fly to Kenya. And by the way, even India, even where that yellow fever vaccination is required, after being taken the jab, you should stay for 10 days before you fly to that destination. Same as Kenya. So if you are above 9 months, you need a vaccination. But for the senior citizens, from 60 years and above, it's good you can go to the doctor and he can write for you an exempt letter. But anyway, when you are an old person, a senior citizen, you do not need it because it can be too powerful on your body. And even when you have a terminal sickness, it's good to go to your doctor, tell the doctor to write for you a nice letter with his letterhead and the stamp that you are exempted from. Oh, you are cooking, Eunice. Thank you so much. By the way, connect to Eunice and Nick. Connect to each other, my dear ones, because we normally do. Remember, unity is strength, by the way, and no one can grow alone. So connect to Eunice Talata, and Eunice can connect to Enik. Let us love one another with a genuine love. Be connecting all the time. If you can't make it on the live, you can always do. You can always watch the recap to grow each other organically. I normally say it's not good for people who normally say I have served and then they go. But when you go to someone's video, you can watch you can watch the video, comment, because that is how you support one another organically, because that's how we are supposed to grow in YouTube. Not subscribing and then you run. You have to watch the videos. Yes. So, entrance requirements for Kenya are not many. For the visa, you apply online, the ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization, have your printed copies. And I talked about that in my previous video. But when you arrive in the airport, I said, for people who are going to connect for a local flight, for example, you are coming to Nairobi, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, but you are going to go to visit Mombasa. You are going to catch a flight to Mombasa, a local flight to Mombasa. I said this, before you depart, you arrive in an airport. When you see you are very near to arrivals, always use the washroom. It might look funny, but it is good to use the washroom, because remember, at the immigration control, you can find very long queues. And I prefer use the washroom, and when you come out of the airplane, go direct to arrivals. Exit to arrivals if you are going to arrive and go to book another flight locally, because when you are booking a local flight, you have to go to international arrivals. You clear with immigration and customs so that you can go to the other flight, and it could be a short connection flight. So it is good to always be very, very alert. When you come out of the airplane, run to the immigration, go clear with immigration and customs, and go to the other flight. If you are connecting internationally, for example, you come to Nairobi and you are going to Lagos, Nigeria, or you are going to Tanzania. People normally come to Nairobi to go to maybe Zanzibar or maybe Kilimanjaro for holiday. If it is international also, do not take time. Walk out of the airplane very fast. Go to the other gate, to the gate to the other boarding gate, the transfer gate, where you are going to get your boarding pass for the international flight to Lagos, international flight to Bujumbura, or wherever. Because I've seen people getting trouble in the airport. They buy time. You arrive, you start working in the duty-free shop, you waste a lot of time, and then you miss the flight. Always be very alert. When you come out of the flight, directly go to the boarding gate of the other destination. If you are coming to catch a flight to locally, maybe to Kisumu, if for example in Kenya, you are coming to catch a flight to Mombasa, go to arrivals, clear with immigration, go to the other flight. Yes, because I've seen people queuing in the washroom before immigration, and then you find very long queues, because many flights arrive at the same time. You can find very many flights arriving at the same time, and you can never jump the queue. You have to wait in the queue to be processed. They have to check your travel documents. They have to check your hotel bookings. They have to check whether you have a vaccination certificate for yellow fever if you need one. And this one applies to all international flights. Even when you are going to the US, by the way, you are coming from Nigeria, connecting to Nairobi, to London, to the US, the same applies. If you are going to catch another flight in the US, if you are going to arrive in Boston and then go to New York, prepare well. After you come out of the flight, you disembark. Go straight to the other boarding gate, the transfer gate, and and be processed. From there, now they can advise you whether you can walk around and have coffee already when you have the boarding pass and you have all the information regarding the departure time and the departure gate. So those are some of the tips that I normally give. Yeah, and then we're gonna talk about Kenya when you come to Kenya, because I know Eunice wants to visit Kenya. I know Enik would want to visit Kenya, and Kenya is very beautiful. We normally say Hakuna Matata. There is no problem in Kenya. It's a very nice country with very, very phenomenal touristic destinations. When you come to the airport, majorly at JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Some arrive at Mombasa International Airport, but mostly in Mombasa, we don't have many flights in Mombasa. But there's a flight from Italy, by the way. We have a flight from Germany. We have some flights from some destinations in Europe. But the major airport is Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. When you arrive in Mombasa International Airport, more international airport in Mombasa, or Nairobi, Jomo Kenyatta, always book an airport taxi for your safety. That one is just a by the way. When you are booking for a taxi or a cab, either book for Uber or for Bolt, because remember, when you book for Uber or Bolt, there shall be some communication. Yeah. Yes, you need a nick. People are normally sometimes careless, because remember, when you arrive in an airport, there are some people who have got their personal taxis. There are people who have got their personal cabs that they use for taxi business. So you meet when the passengers are arriving, because I've seen that many times. They normally invite you and then they tell you, do you need a taxi? And then because you are very excited and you think that everyone in the airport is a good person, you enter into that cab. I'm not saying Kenya is a bad place, but just for security purpose, to be safe, and because you do not know anyone in that country, book an airport taxi. Airport. You book it within, even before you come out of the building, at the international arrivals within, you can go and book for a taxi in the airport. Those are the safest. And then even Uber, because remember Uber and Bolt and such registered taxis, there's going to be some communication. Yeah, for phone communication. But now for personal cabs, that one never risk. If at all you are doing it on your own, you have no local person who is guiding you. If you have a local person, they can come for you with a personal car. They can come with a cab. But in the airport, do not just enter any vehicle because they are telling you that they are going to take you to wherever you want to be taken to. They are going maybe to charge you cheap. Safety first, by the way. But anyway, in the airport, it is the safest. But remember now, when you enter into that cab, going to the hotel, or you are going to the hotel, you shall be alone with that person out of the airport. By the way, within the airport, it is the safest. Within the airport, even the hotels within the airport is the safest place. But now when you enter into a cab, and you are with that person, and no one else knows that you're in that cab, there is no communication, there is no nothing. Remember, anything can happen in this life, Nick. So we have to be very careful of our safety. And we have got very nice hotels within the airport vicinity. Very nice. The safest. Within the airport, it is the safest. If you hire a cab, maybe you hire Uber, maybe you hire an airport cab. Being taken to those hotels in the airport, they are very safe, by the way. Very safe forever. I've never had any incident within the air. Safety comes first before the... Because there are people who are normally very careless. Remember, there are people who enter into vehicles and then they are never found again. It has even happened in the estates. You enter into a stranger's vehicle, they give you lift, and then that is the end of you. People normally say they saw you in a red cloth, you entered into a particular vehicle, and that is it. So we have to be safe. When you are coming to visit, be very safe. Only hire the airport cabs, very safe, or you can do Uber or Bolt. Those are safe, but the airport cabs, the best. The airport cabs are the best completely. They take your information, everything is registered, and then you can choose your hotel. We have got hotels within the airport. We have others outside of the airport. Very, very nice. Very nice food, by the way. Kenya has got people who cook nice foods, and Nick. Yes. So when you visit, do not have any problem. Go to Masai Mara. We have got restaurants even in the wild. We have got restaurants, very nice restaurants in Masai Mara. We have got everything that you need. And in those places like Masai Mara, it is always good to go with a tour guide who can take you through all those things. We have the giraffe centers in Nairobi, by the way, giraffe center. We have got the snake park. We have got the National Museum, by the way. We have got so many things, in very, very nice things. I have not even touched on Mombasa because Mombasa is also a very nice one. But Nairobi also very nice. In the outskirts, we have got very, very many things. I talked about the Savo East. I talked about the Amboseli, the Savo West. I talked about the Masai Mara. I talked about Naivasha. We have got Nanyuki, by the way. We have got Lake Bogoria with hot springs. Imagine hot water boiling in a lake like this. Very, very phenomenal also. We have got so many things. But when you come to Nairobi, I was talking about when you come to because you can even come to Nairobi, Nick, and you visit in the city alone, very, very comfortably. You can go to town, the town, you walk alone, you can do shopping, you can do, maybe you want to go to the cafeteria, you are very, very free because it is very safe, especially the CBD. The central business is very safe, central business district. But I was saying, it is good to have the tips before you come in. For example, there are people who just come and randomly they start taking photos, and I talked about that in my previous one. You just come because there are very many nice things. We have got monuments of a man. There were some people who fought for freedom in Kenya. We have got like Dedan Kimathi. There is a monument for Dedan Kimathi. We have got a monument for the first president of Kenya called Jomo Kenyatta, the old man who died many years ago. We have got very, very nice monuments. So people normally think you can just come and take a photo. Before you take a photo, consult for the tall buildings, for those monuments and all those other things. Consult all the time because you can be fined, by the way. And I said, if you want to ask for direction, you ask from the police or the security guards who are in uniform, guarding the buildings. Do not just go randomly. Do not go to the downtown alone. If you see a street is very quiet, there is no one walking on that street, do never be tempted. Yeah, Yannick, it is very true. Very, yeah. Thank you, my dear. There are people who are careless. You just go to a country, you don't know the rules, and then you start taking photos. Same case in the airport, by the way. In the airport, do not just start taking photos of airplanes. Yeah, by the way, there are some rules like that. You just don't, you can inquire whether you can take a photo. Not all the time when you go somewhere, you're allowed to take a photo. But there are some places you can take a photo anyhow. For example, in the estates, if you come to visit him, you can take a photo of the estate. You can even do a video. You can do anything. But taking a photo for those other buildings, you have to inquire whether you are supposed to take the photos. Same case in the airport. Just do not just see a flight maybe parked at in the ramp. The ramp is where the flights are normally parked, and then you just take a photo. You have to ask whether you can take a photo. Even in the waiting lounge, there are some flights that do not allow people to take photos. Even when we are just normally wait. Always ask before you take the photos. It is good to ask. But in Nairobi town, it is very safe, by the way. You can even walk alone. I even normally see Muzugu walking alone. But I talked about it being safe. Even if it is very safe, no one can harm you. You cannot use a mobile phone anyhow. Because there are people who are normally very excited. They remove their mobile phones. They want to check in their Google, or maybe you want to check a location in your Google. And remember, there are some bad boys who can come and snatch your phone. So with the phone, if you want to make a call or to look for somewhere, maybe to go to Google Map, you can start on the side near a building, very safe. Check the Google Map and then put your phone in the bag. Never be careless with your phone. And this one also applies to the local tourists. There are some people who come from the villages coming to Nairobi, because Nairobi is phenomenal. They come to visit Nairobi, but they are very naive. They do not have the experience of whatever they are supposed to do in the city. Your phone, your camera, your bag, always have it safe. It is not that much, but sometimes when you are very, very carried away, someone can snatch your bag in a twinkle of an eye. So when you want to use your mobile phone, you can go to a cafeteria, because you have got so many cafeteria, very safe. As you eat your chips, you can do your whatever Google. Or even on the streets, very safe streets, very beautiful. Start on the side, remove your phone, call, return the phone in the bag, and be safe. If you ask somebody to show you the direction, and they start leading you to a very quiet place, maybe a very, what can I say, an empty street where there are not many people, always do not follow. So when you go to the downtown, or even in the upper town, in the CBD, ensure that you are walking. There are very many people, because when there are very many people, you are going to be very safe. But the city is very safe, by the way. We normally have patrols for police, but remember, a snatcher can snatch like this even when they are police, and then they run very fast with your phone. So it's good to be safe. But now we also have Mombasa. Mombasa, a very nice. It is the oldest city in Kenya, Mombasa. It has got very, very many historic sites. Mombasa is also another beautiful place that you can plan and visit. Very beautiful. The people in Mombasa are normally very slow. They all have all the time to enjoy their life. They sit, they cook very nice food, by the way, in Mombasa. So Nairobi, I did a video regarding Nairobi the other time, and Nick, you can go and check on that video regarding Nairobi. Because I talked about Nairobi. Because mostly now, before even you go to Masai Mara, you are going to land in Nairobi. You are first, after coming from JKIA, you could by the way stay in the airport, in the hotels, be coming from the hotel to Masai Mara or wherever, and you could also be going from Nairobi to Masai Mara. Nairobi we have got also very nice hotels. We have got 5-star hotels, we have got 4-star, 3-star, 2-star. It is your choice. That one is your choice now, and you can be guided by your tour guide or the whatever that is taking you around. So Nairobi is phenomenal. And then we go to Mombasa. Mombasa, we have got very, very nice people in Mombasa, very friendly, who can show you around. We have got, like, for example, the Fort Jesus, by the way. We have got a very historical building called Fort Jesus. That one you can go and see it. We have got very old buildings in Mombasa, very old. Because remember, Mombasa is one of the oldest cities in Kenya. Very old, but very nice. And they are the best cooks. There were Swahili people, because most of the people in the coast region, Mombasa is in the coast. We have got very nice cooks. If you want any kind of sweet food, like for example, the best food that you can go and ask for in Mombasa is the chicken tikka. The chicken tikka is normally rice with the chicken, nicely, very professionally done. And even in Mombasa, we have got the beach in the Indian Ocean. Remember, we have got the beach We have got where? We have got Malindi. You can go to Malindi also. Go and enjoy yourself in the beaches. We have got Watamu, by the way. And in all those destinations in Mombasa, they are very nice hotels also. And they make the best food. And they are very friendly. Also very safe. But always keep safe on your own. Even if it is safe, always be very alert with your surrounding. Know who is guiding you. It's good to be very safe. Because safety first is safety always. So those are some of the things that I can talk about Kenya. I can also touch about Enik, where do you come from, by the way? Enik, where are you from, my dear? The Kenyans are normally very friendly, always ready to help you free of charge. They are normally very friendly to people. Kenya is a peace-loving country, by the way, very safe. But when you are visiting the estates, not now the town side, I talked about being very safe. The estates are not the same as the town. There are some which are very safe, some are safe, some are somehow you have to be careful and to go with someone who gonna guide you. Yeah, you can also visit the estate sides. We have got very nice estates. Some of them are purely totally safe, depending on the estate. Some of them you need someone to go with who is a local, so that he can show you the streets that you can go to and the one that you can't go to. So that is it about Nairobi. And even Mombasa. When you go to Mombasa, you cannot enter into any street, by the way. Those ones that are downtown, you have to be very careful and have a local person that is guiding you. But anyway, Kenya is very safe for tourists. We have got people who come from all over US, Canada, from even the Arab countries, Middle East, and wherever, because it is a nice place, by the way. Yeah, that is it about Nairobi and Mombasa. But I shall come and do a deeper one regarding Mombasa. Oh, thank you. Elizabeth, how are you? Thank you so much, my dear. Oh, thank you. Oh, Enik, from the island of St. Vincent. Oh, wow. I know those islands, by the way. You live in New York. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful, my dear. Have you ever traveled to Africa? Elizabeth, thank you so much, my dear. May the Lord bless you for coming in. And we have got Enik Woods in the house. She has a very nice YouTube channel. Elizabeth and Lifodi and everyone else who is here. Kindly go and connect with Enik Woods. Yeah, he is my supporter. I said this channel is for connection. Today, Elizabeth, we were still talking about our beautiful phenomenal Kenya, and I talked about the arrivals and the departures too, because you know I've discovered I have got very many people from the US who watch this channel. I have got people from UK, from Belgium. No, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand, Enik. Anyway, it's okay. So like the video as we continue. So because we have got many people from everywhere who normally visit Africa. Oh, you have never? Oh, okay. One day you can visit any African destination, but even Tanzania is very nice. Tanzania, remember in Serengeti in Tanzania, the wild bees come from Serengeti to Nairobi. From the month of June, July to October, that's time, you can visit either Tanzania or even Kenya. Because remember now in Kenya, we have got the migration of the wild bees that come from Serengeti to the Kenyan side, and then they go back to Serengeti in Tanzania. So Tanzania is also very beautiful. You can visit Tanzania, you can go to Zanzibar, it's an island, very nice for tourists, by the way. And Kenya is also a nice tourist destination. Very nice, Enik. Yes. So Elizabeth, I discovered I have got people who watch from outside. That's why you see nowadays I'm not teaching so much about going to the US, about going to Germany and other destinations in other international destinations. I also talk about coming to Nairobi, coming to Mombasa, because we have got people who want to come to Kenya and they want to know the situation or the requirements for arriving. That's why I decided to mix. I can teach about the visa requirements. I can also teach about entering Kenya. I can teach about entering Congo because it is also important. Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. So I talked about Nairobi. I talked about Kenya requirements, about the yellow fever. Just to remind, because Eniki could one day maybe decide to come to Kenya. I talked about the vaccination for yellow fever. That is, by the way, the one. Kenya does not have so many requirements. Especially, Eniki, if you have got a US passport, you only need to apply for your electronic travel authorization. If you have got a US passport, only the ETA. By the way, most of the nationals of other countries only need the ETA, the electronic travel authorization, that you can apply before you come in, and then you have your printed copies. You can have a printed copy, because I always advise anything that is applied online, always have a printed copy, because you never know, a phone can get lost, a phone can be of low battery or anything, and it's a requirement, by the way, you have the printed copy. They normally check the printed copy at arrivals. So when you are arriving, have your printed copy, have your booking for the hotel, or maybe the host information, because maybe you are going to be hosted. So that is it. Kenya do not have so many requirements. Yeah. Especially if you are coming from the US, they do not have a problem. You have a US passport. Maybe you have got your, maybe you have your passport for your nationality and your green card. That one is not a big problem. Yeah, thank you so much, Ari Fodi. May the Lord bless you too. Yes. So whenever you are traveling, my dear ones, it is always good to know where I am traveling to. What are the requirements? What are the do's and the don'ts? It's never good to assume or to ignore, or to assume that because I'm coming from Germany, living in Kenya is not a problem, because I'm coming from a Western country to Africa. Remember, even Kenya have got their what? No. Or you have in July. Oh, you want to go and see the migration? Because even Tanzanians do not need a vaccine. There have never been yellow fever cases in Tanzania, Enik, but in Kenya there have been yellow fever cases. Nigeria, there have been yellow fever cases. Because even Tanzanians, when they are going, for example, to India, they do not require a vaccination certificate. But as when we are going to India from Kenya, we need a vaccination certificate. Because in Kenya, we have a long time ago, there have ever been yellow fever cases. But after going to Tanzania, are you traveling anywhere else, Enik, after going to Tanzania? Or do you have the vaccination? Coming from the US to Tanzania, you don't need. Coming from the US to Tanzania, as long as you are not going to... Oh, you are okay. You can go without. If you are told you are just going from Tanzania, even if you are transiting Kenya, you don't need. Oh, Eunice, you are back. Thank you, my dear. Wow, thanks. So, Nick, as long as you are going to... Even if you transit Kenya going to Tanzania, and you are just going to be on transit, you don't need it. But if you enter Kenya for more than 6 days, and then you go to Tanzania, now you are going, because already you entered Kenya, which has ever had a yellow fever case. There are some countries that have ever had yellow fever cases. So like Kenya, when we are going to India, going to South Africa, we need. Even South Africa, we need. But now remember, like a country like South Africa, them they don't need. There have never been a case of yellow fever in South Africa. So there are many rules regarding different destinations. So Kenyans, wherever we go, when we go to Asia, we need a vaccination. But now when we are coming to the US, we don't need. US do not have that requirement. Even when we are going to Europe, not all countries require that you have the vaccination. So for you and Nick, just buy your ticket, fly to Tanzania, go visit, because that is when now the migration starts. June, July. You can see the migration in that time, Serengeti. It will be so nice. Thank you so much. So, whenever you are traveling to a destination, do never underrate that because I'm coming from a particular country going to a third world continent, I will not have any problem. I have ever seen a person from the US, by the way, and Nick. There was those are many years back. There is a lady from the US, a very young girl, and by the way, the mother and the father were in Kenya. That was very unique. There was a very young lady who came to the airport with a US passport which was completely full. The passport was valid, but it was full because he was traveling a lot. So the passport was full of those stamps, everywhere stamps. Because a US passport does not need a visa. So she had very many stamps of other destinations. So when she came to Kenya, there was nowhere even to put the stamp, the entry stamp for Kenya. That lady was taken back she was taken back with the next available flight. She didn't enter. A very young girl, by the way. And the mother was outside outside of the arrivals, waiting for that girl. She was not allowed to enter because the passport was completely full. That's why I normally say a full passport, even if it is valid, it is as good as expired. Many countries cannot allow you to visit with a passport that is full. So when you have a full passport, my dear, go and take another passport to validate that one. Because a full passport is as good as a expired passport. For example, when you are going to India, the passport must have 2 free visa pages. Yeah, it happens like that, Enik. I have seen very many. By the way, funny enough, people normally come even from the US with small problems, like that one of the full passport. Because you could be having a very nice passport, expiring even in 2027 or 2029 or whatever, but because you travel a lot, there are people who normally travel a lot. You go to Hong Kong, you go to China, you go to wherever, the passport is normally stamped full. Remember, you cannot fly. By the way, South Africa, when you go to South Africa, the passport must have 1 free visa page. A free for completely, without anything. No stamp, no nothing, no writing. So that one is South Africa. There are so many, by the way, requirements of various destinations. But, majorly, when your passport is completely full, remember it is not good to travel with it. Because there are some countries that when you enter, you can be refused, you can be denied entry. But if you are going back home, for example, if you are going back to the US, and you have a US passport, that is not a problem. If I'm coming to Kenya and I'm a Kenyan with a Kenyan passport, it is not a problem. But a full passport going to another destination, some immigration requirements cannot allow you to enter that country. Even Hong Kong, by the way, because remember I've been working for different flights. I've worked for European flights, I've worked for flights in the Middle East, and there are people who normally come from Kenya, from anywhere. Maybe they came to visit Kenya, they are going to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a requirement that your passport shouldn't be full. India, the passport must have 2 blank pages. Blank. Not written anything. No stamp. No nothing. No observation. No nothing. So it is always good to have such. It's good to have such information before someone makes a trip. Yes. Remember, when you are going to India, India is very strict with vaccination certificate. As long as you are coming from a destination, and most of these destinations, US is not in that. By the way, US is not in that list. But when you are coming from some countries in the Caribbean, by the way, when you are coming from some countries in Africa, going to India, you need that vaccination. But if you are coming from the US mostly, let me talk about the US, UK, most of the European territories, US and Canada, and you are just transiting Kenya to India, you don't need. Those are okay. But if you have an African passport, my dear, always inquire before you make a trip or before you buy the ticket. Yes. So, Enrique, that is good to know, because you can arrive and then you are taken back. I remember that girl cried so much. She cried a lot. And the parents were outside. Formerly, Nick, the US embassy in Kenya, by the way, could come to the airport and add pages to the passport. I don't know why that time it didn't happen. But I don't know nowadays whether it can also happen. But I don't think so. They could come by, but it's a process. You remember, imagine before you call the embassy, they come from the embassy, they plan and come with the pages to come and add into your full passport, though it is still valid. So there was such an arrangement formally. Right now, I've never seen it again. People normally now come with the passports. If they are full, you see them with another passport. You apply for another new passport so that you can have the full one and the old one. Yes. When you see your passport is full of stamps, for last people who need visas, it is full of visas. Always take another passport to validate the full one. Yes. If you need a vaccination for yellow fever, always have it. Because there's another mistake that people normally make when they are going to India for treatment. Because remember, India is a nice destination for medical. They normally come with a vaccination that is done yesterday. You are going to India, the jab was given yesterday, and then you are traveling to India. The vaccination is valid only after 10 days. So, Nick, for example, if you are alive in Kenya, you need a vaccination card in Kenya. If you are going to be in Kenya for more than 6 days. So if you are arriving in Kenya to come and stay, by the way, you need a vaccination for yellow fever. But if you are just transiting in Kenya to go to India and you are coming from the US, you have no problem. So if you are taking the jab, it should stay in your flesh for 10 days. That is when we call it mature. But after you are taking the jab, now it is going to be a lifetime thing. Formerly it was 10 years validity, but nowadays the World Health Organization decided that it should be for a lifetime. So if you take a jab today, after 10 days it matures, it is going to be there for a lifetime. It is going to be there forever. So if you have it, Nick, yeah, that's good to know. If you have the vaccination with you, you can be carrying it in your bag. Because if you take it once, you take it, you'll never take it again. But if you are a senior citizen, never is to take it. If you have anything to do with health issues, always go to the doctor and get a letter. A nice letter with a letterhead of the hospital and a rubber stamp. That is good to know. But there is a case many years back. Someone somewhere took the vaccine and he had a terminal sickness and the worst happened. I don't like elaborating about that, but something bad happened. So it is never good to be careless with such jabs because they could overpower you and they are not. You have to be careful. So that is it about Kenya, Nairobi. We normally have visitors in Kenya. It is safe for you to come to visit. There is Kisumu also, near Lake Victoria. You can go and visit Kisumu. We have got fish in Lake Victoria. We have got very many cities in Kenya other than Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital, but we have got other small cities. Not even small. By the way, Kisumu is a big city also. We have got Mombasa, also a very big city, but very old. There you can see very old buildings. But it is very historical. Yes. Any question to there, Nick and Eunice? And as we continue like the video, my dear ones, any questions regarding international arrivals or international transfer or international departure? Because we have got transfer, we have got arrivals, and we have got departures. Yes. And the other time I talked about it there, separate ticket and the continuous ticket. And I advised you, my dear ones, because I want you to have a seamless flow of the whatever in the airport. Always buy a continuous ticket. I know separate tickets could be cheap, but people normally have problem because for a separate ticket. For example, Nick, you could be coming to Nairobi, for example, on a flight from the US. Maybe I don't want to mention the flights because I'm not campaigning for any flight. Maybe you come with a flight from the US, passing London to Nairobi, and then you go to Tanzania, maybe to Kilimanjaro or any destination in Tanzania. So you buy a separate ticket. From the US to London to Nairobi, you have a separate ticket. And then you have another separate ticket, even if it is on the same flight. Another separate ticket because they are normally cheaper to Tanzania. Remember, when you come to Nairobi with that ticket, your bag will be tagged to Nairobi. People normally forget that. If you are coming from the US to London to Nairobi with one bit of ticket, another different ticket to Tanzania, your baggage shall be tagged to Nairobi. And if it is tagged to Nairobi, you have to clear immigration so that you... Velma, how are you? Oh, thank you. Hi. Welcome, my dear. Yes, we started a while ago. Almost 1 hour ago, my dear. Thank you so much for coming. Hakuna matata. So for the separate ticket, when you are coming from an international destination, remember your bags will be tagged to Nairobi, for example. So you have to arrive from the airplane, go to arrivals, clear immigration, pick your bag, and then you go to the local flight and book, and now check in for the, not for the local flight, and now check into Tanzania. So if you are coming from any destination, my dear, always buy a continuous ticket. Nairobi, no, okay, for example, New York, JF Kennedy, LHR, that is London Heathrow, and beyond Nairobi, and then to Kilimanjaro, JRO. Let your claim tag for the baggage read JRO, because you have got a continuous ticket. But for a separate ticket, people normally come and waste a lot of time. Oh, thank you so much, dear. May the Lord bless you. Thank you. Yeah. Separate tickets are normally very, very inconvenient, especially if you do not have time to go to take your bag at arrivals. So I normally prefer and advise my dear ones that if you are buying a ticket for convenience purposes, to have a seamless process, buy a ticket continuously to the end. Book a continuous ticket. Even if it is a different flight, you can book. For example, you could be coming from on a flight from US, maybe a UK flight from the US to London to Nairobi, and then joining Kenya Airways, for example, to Kilimanjaro. Let it be continuous. Even if the flight is different from Nairobi to Kilimanjaro, but it is continuous, so that you can get your bag in Kilimanjaro. Because Kilimanjaro is a international destination from Nairobi. But if you are coming to Nairobi, going to Mombasa, remember that is different. You have to pick your bag in Nairobi. You have to go, because now that is local. For the local transfer, you have to pick your bag in Nairobi and then go to the check-in for Mombasa, because it is local. You have already entered, and that is why you need to have all the entry requirements for the particular country. If you are coming to Kenya, you must have a Kenyan visa if you need one. For example, Nick will need an ETA. So she will have her ETA, go to immigration, clear the immigration, and then go to the local departures to book a flight to Mombasa, so that she can get a boarding pass and board a flight to Mombasa, because that is local. And that is what I talked even about in New York, or even going to another destination in Europe. If I'm going from Nairobi, London to New York, and then going to another destination in the US, a different one, maybe Chicago, I have to pick my bags in New York, because New York is my first point of entry in the US. The other one now to Chicago is a local what? It's a local destination. So those are some of the things that people should know, because it is normally easy for someone who have planned well. I did a video regarding the requirements in the airport, what you are supposed to carry in the carry-on and what you are not supposed to carry. So you can always be going back to those videos and check all the requirements. Because I did a very nice video regarding what you are supposed to carry in the checked bag and what you are not supposed to carry. Because people come with items and then they are confiscated. You start crying. You have got a very expensive perfume, put in the hand luggage, above 100 milliliters, it is confiscated, and then you cry. You have got your tweezers, the sharp ones. You have got your, but by the way, even if they are not sharp, I prefer you put them early enough in the big bag. Anything to do with a metal cob, scissors, all those sharp things that maybe you needed to use them in the final destination, put them in the big bag. So Velma, today I'm talking randomly because I thought it is wise to get out of the visa requirements first and talk randomly, because flying is for everyone. You can fly to Africa, you can fly to Asia, and everyone needs to have information. Because I've even seen people from the US, from the UK, having problems because of not planning their journey. You have to plan for your journey well, have your well-detailed itinerary to show that when I arrive in Kenya, I'm going to go to Masai Mara, and then I'm going to go to this place, I have this hotel booking, a detailed itinerary. It is normally called a plan, travel plan, itinerary. Very well done, because now it is going to make it easier for you. And do not carry any prohibited items in your small bag. And the small bag, I normally say it is the hard luggage. Anything prohibited, though it is useful to you. Yeah, I have seen your comments, Veroma. Thank you for checking. They are very important, Veroma, because tomorrow you are going to fly. And when you are flying and you have got the information, you're not like a green person who have never flew out. You are going to be it will be easy for you, because now you are going to plan your flight 2 days before. You put your documents in order, your ticket, your ETAs. If you need an ETA, there are people who need electronic travel authorizations. There are others who need visas. You are going to put everything in order. And in the airport, you are going to come early enough. You remember I talked about the 3 hours before departure for international and 2 hours before departure. Those ones you can always go back. I shall keep reminding, because I have seen people coming late. They assume because the flight is departing at 11 p.m., because most of the international flights, by the way, they depart at night from Africa. Maybe that time is daytime in the US. But maybe from Nairobi, for example, flights to Europe, they depart from 10 p.m., 2200 hours onwards. So, because they depart at that time, people normally assume if it is departing at 2200 hours, even if I come at 2130, I can make it. You can never make it. Because I told you there are very many things that are supposed to be done before the flight is started. It is disconnecting. I don't know what is happening. So like the video as you come in and subscribe if you haven't. I'll be teaching you on international travels, local travels, and international arrivals. Because people normally don't teach about international arrivals. I did a very nice one regarding arrivals. Anyone who is here, you can go back and check the video regarding international arrivals and transfers. Because those are different things. International arrivals and transfers are normally almost close. Because remember, there are people who normally arrive to go and catch another flight to another destination. And there are people who arrive and stay in that country. For example, if you are coming to Nairobi and you are going to stay in Nairobi, now you are arriving in Nairobi and you are going to say, though you don't have a lot of things to do, you just need to go to arrivals, clear, take a cab and go to your hotel or go to the family that you are visiting. There are people now who come to Nairobi, arriving in it, but they are transferring to other flights, maybe locally or internationally. That is different. That is what I have done in the other video regarding international arrivals and transfers. Yes, timekeeping is key in traveling. Remember, an airplane is not like a bus. Because in a bus, you can go and stop a bus or you can get another bus if one goes. But remember, for the flight, you have already paid for the ticket. And remember, if you lose, there are some tickets, by the way, Velma, if you don't make it on that plane, you cannot be refunded. There are some that are non-refundable, not all of them. There are some flights, by the way, I even know a flight to Middle East. I will not mention it. It's not a very major flight, but it is not that minor. If you buy a flight and then you miss it, it is normally a very cheap flight. It's normally very cheap because they do not even offer food in that aircraft. Food, you normally eat what you have. It's to the middle. A flight, it's not a very major flight because it does not go to European destinations. It only goes finally to the UAE. No, not the UAE, to the Middle East, sorry. But if you miss that flight, they do not refund anything. That one you lose it. It's very cheap, but you lose. So you have to come very early if you are boarding in the flight. But there are some tickets, if you miss the flight, you can change the reservation. You can change the reservation, but it is somehow costly. Changing for the reservation. And remember, when you are changing for the reservation, you can lack a connection flight. For example, if I miss a flight that was going to London and then to Canada, and then I change the reservation and it is costing me money, I can miss a flight to Toronto in the UK. Maybe I can be delayed more for me to get another connecting flight in London to go to Canada. So before you are late, remember you can be very, very much inconvenienced. Be in the airport, come and sit because they are very nice seats. You can come and even sit in Java or wherever instead of wasting your time. And then when you come to the airport, you find that you have been left. You see the flight parked there and you can't enter. People normally cry. I can see the flight there because sometimes they are what? They are window walls. Maybe glass wall, not window but walls. They are glass walls. You can see the flight there and it's your flight. And you are told you cannot board because we have got so many procedures in the airport before you enter the plane. We have security, we have got check-in procedures, we have got there are very many procedures, immigration processes. So you can be seeing the flight there, but you can't board. So with the time, I'm gonna repeat it and again. Always be on time. Never come late. Even if it is even if you are flying to Tanzania from Kenya because it is not very far, but you are going by air, never be late. Because you never know what can happen on the road, by the way. Yes. Any question from anyone, kindly? So, I'll be doing random, but sometimes I'll talk about the visa requirements of the US, Canada, because that is my major thing. That is what I do. Yeah, teaching you for the visa nationals. Yeah, I did this because I have got so many non-visa nationals who watch my videos. We have got none. Oh, you are late. No, you are not. Very much sometimes one can be late because we also have other things to do. So never mind. As long as you come You are good, my dear. Thank you for the support. And I love you with the love of Christ. Yes. So I decided to do the entry into Kenya. To do about Nairobi, another maybe arrival requirements, because in this channel, I have people who come to visit Kenya. You know, before when I started my channel, I started it to be teaching people about traveling abroad, because that is what I do. I clear people to travel abroad. I'm a visa expert to know what you need when you are going to Germany, what you need when you are transiting the UK, if you are visa national. But I decided also to mix and match, because I want all my audience to fit. Those who want to come and visit Tanzania, I want them to fit. Those who want to come from Canada with a Canadian passport, I want them to fit. Not only the visa nationals like the Africans going to the US. That's why I did the videos regarding international arrivals and international departures, and the requirements in the airport, because in the airport you find everyone, the visa national and the non-visa nationals. Because remember, like the US nationals, the Canadian nationals, the European territories nationals, and non-visa nationals, mostly in Africa. What they normally need in some countries is just an ETA, something you apply online, you pay a few coins, and then you print. But for Africans, we needed to go to the embassy, get a visa before we fly. So I'll be teaching about the non and the visa nationals, because we all need to fit together. And this information is key to everyone, even regarding the separate tickets. And I said, when you come to the airport early, you can book a seat in the front. Remember, when you come to the airport early, you can book a seat in the front. And I said it is not about business class or first class. Business and first class, those are other things. If you have got your money, if you have got enough money, you can book on business class or there's business class. We have got premium economy in some flights. Remember, flights are not the same. There are some flights that normally have first class, business class, and premium economy. Premium economy is better than economy. Those are different categories. Some have got only the business class and economy. Some have got business class, premium economy, and economy. So for the first class, the business class, and the premium economy, that is another thing, because you need to, it is normally quite expensive, but there are people who normally afford it, by the way. But I'm saying you can book the best seat, because even in business class, there are some seats that are better than others, depending on particular or individual preference. So when you come to the check-in early, you can book the seat of your preference. Because remember, people keep booking the seats. Some do it online. By the way, you can do online check-in if you are able to. Because when you check in online, you can book the seat of your preference. If you are not able to do the online check-in because of any reason, come to the airport early enough, choose the best seat that you want. Whether you are in business class or in first class, remember the seats are not the same. Even in first class or even in business class, you can have a better seat even if you choose early. Then, if you're in economy class, you can also choose economy class, but in front. Even if you are in the economy class, in the front. Because remember, when you sit in the front, you can come out of the airplane very early when you reach your destination. Because as I told you in the previous video, some connections are very short. You only have a few minutes to connect through the other flight, maybe local or international. And when you sit in the front, you disembark earlier than the others who are in the back. So when you disembark or you come out of the airplane, you run to the transfer desk, you get cleared. After you are cleared, by the way, you shall not be free to go to Java. You shall not be free to go to KFC. You shall not be free to go to Post Cafe to take coffee after you are cleared. For example, if I'm coming from the US via London to Nairobi and I'm catching a flight to Kilimanjaro because I want to go and visit Kilimanjaro for a holiday, I am going to go to when I come out of the flight in Jomo Kenyatta, I'm supposed to rush to the other gate. If I'm going on Kenya Airways to Kilimanjaro, I'm supposed to rush to the KQ or the Kenya Airways transfer desk and show myself there, be checked in, be given the boarding pass, and then I can ask them, can I now go to Java? And if I go to Java to take coffee, what time do I come back? Now I'll be free even to go to the washroom. I can go to Java. I can go to KFC because already I've gone to the gate. I'm already aware now that I have the boarding pass. I'm in the flight. They have put me in the flight. Now I'm safe. But imagine you take your time when you go to the transfer desk to join the other international flight, you find that you have been closed out because you took too much time, you dilly-dallied, you did whatever. There are people who normally come out of the aircraft, and because they are connecting internationally, they start doing shopping in the duty-free shop. You can do the duty-free shopping, but after you have been confirmed that you are in the other flight and you are sure of the departure time, and they have told you you can walk to Java but be here by this time. Now you know you are going to be walking like a lion, like a king of the jungle, because you have your boarding pass. They have put you in the system. Now you are only waiting to go back and board the flight. So you can even go to Java. You can go to any other duty-free shop or any other cafeteria, because we have got we normally have many duty-free shops within the airside. By the way, we have got duty-free shops. We have got Curious. We have got what? We have got cafeterias. We have got restaurants, very nice ones, where you can go and take your dinner, where you can go and take your coffee, and then you board your flight. So when you book the seat in the front, and that is why it is normally advantageous for people who normally come to check in early. You choose your best seat. If you have got any mistakes, maybe in your carry-on luggage, you can always rectify. Maybe you have got something that you did that was not supposed to be carried in the carry-on. Maybe you had excess luggage. You can repack on time and go and board the flight without any hassle. Because hassling is not good. Panicking is not good. There are people who normally have even healthy conditions, and because they come late, you remember some healthy conditions do not want you to be in panic mode. Maybe you have got a particular problem, I don't want to mention them here, and then you come late, you come running, you are sweating, you are screaming, you can even, there's someone who fainted somewhere because they have got a condition. Now they are panicking because they are missing the flight because they came late. Remember, that one can be very, very dangerous even for your health. So when you are traveling, if you are catching a flight at night, whether you are in the US or in Canada or you are in Africa, you are catching a flight at night, in the morning, pack your things, go to the airport and wait in the airport. You normally have seats to sit. Sit in the airport. When the check-in opens, be the first one to check in. Check your bags and be sorted if there is anything to be sorted out, so that you can go up. You can go to the immigration. For example, in Kenya, it is up. Maybe in other airports, it's not up. But in Kenya, you check in from downstairs, you go through the immigration, and then you go to the security screening upstairs, and then you go to the boarding gate. That is a process. And remember, we normally have very many flights. Very many flights are departing to Europe. Others are going to Doha. Others going to Dubai. Very many queues. So some people normally panic seriously at the queues. Imagine you are missing your flight and you are being waited for in Kilimanjaro. There's someone who is waiting for you. Just imagine, you waste a lot of money. Rebooking flights is very expensive. When you miss a flight, you have to rebook, which is very, very expensive. But my dear ones, if you are coming with a flight from anywhere, whether you are coming from Africa, whether you are coming from the US or Canada or UK or anywhere in Europe, and the flight is delayed, do never panic. That is not your problem. If the flight is delayed from the destination, because sometimes flight normally delay. Why do they delay? Maybe because of technical problems, or maybe any other problem, operational problems, or technical. If there is a delay, do not come panicking. I have to go to Kilimanjaro. Don't mind. Remember, your safety is first. And because the flight has come in late, they normally take care of that. Maybe they book for you the next available flight very well, free of charge. Or if there is no available flight, immediately they can take you to a hotel. Depending on your choice, they can take you to a hotel, and then you can book. They can rebook you to fly tomorrow or any other time. So when you are late and the flight it is not your problem, never mind. But when the flight brings you on time and then you are late to go to the other boarding gate, remember that one will be your cost. So, and that is what I normally call punctuality. Be punctual. Come even earlier than expected. If it is 3 hours before departure for the international flights, you can come up 4 hours before departure. It is normally 2 hours before departure for the local. Come 3 hours or 4 hours. Come sit in the airport, take your coffee, or you just relax. You just not even taking coffee. We normally have got lounges where you can go and rest. You can go and sit and wait. We got Wi-Fi. You can enter into your phone. You can even chat with your family in the Wi-Fi, because that is better than coming late. So I think those tips are important to everyone, whether you are Muzungu, whether you are Kenyan, whether you are Nigerian, whether you are Congolese. These, I think, are very nice tips, because I'm teaching this out of experience, out of seeing people suffering in the airport. So like the video if you haven't, and ask any query regarding traveling, because I am a travel expert, having worked in the aviation industry forever to date, and I'm also a trainer in the same. I train about travel documents. Yes, genuine visas, genuine passports, as in genuine documents. That is what I do. So when you're coming to Kenya, remember Kenya is phenomenal. We have got the best things in Kenya. There are people who come to Kenya, when they are going back, they cry, by the way. Remember, you are treated like a king in Kenya. They treat you like a king. Yes. So when you come to Kenya, remember we have got so many destinations in Kenya. You can even look for them in the Google. Yes, for example, you have got the bonfire safaris. You can book through the bonfire safaris. They can take you to wherever. You know, when you book through such a thing, it will be easier for you to navigate to Masai Mara, to Amboseli. It's normally planned very well. Yes, those are some of the things that you can do before arrival. You can check on your Google for those companies that normally for those companies that normally offer such services, because I don't offer such services. I don't at all. Yes, I'm not an agent. I don't have my company for taking people to Masai Mara. I only advise on what to do when you get into Kenya, when you get into the airport, and about what we have in Kenya, because Kenya is phenomenal. Na hakuna matata. There's no problem in Kenya. Hakuna matata means no problem. Either for the Muzungu, for the Kenyan, for the Sudanese, Kenya is safe for everyone. Yes. But the tips that I gave you, always follow them. They are helpful. As we wait for the green card for those who applied, we are hoping for the best. Yes, what I know, because it is also good to touch on the green card, because those are all those things are the same. They are okay. This is my topic. My channel is about traveling, whether to the US, whether to Schengen, whether to Africa, or whether to Middle East. I know most people are now worried about the green card because we don't know what will happen. But what I'm sure of, I'm strongly persuaded in my spirit, the one that is already applied, the one that people applied in 2024, it will go through. But maybe in the future, it will be more hard to apply. Maybe. We never know. But I always say that you can always pray unto God. I know with the US is a no man's land, by the way. Most people who live in the US, funny enough, by the way, they went there from other countries. And people in the US can bear me witness. Most people who live in the US, I don't even think there is anyone who is a native of the US. I'm not sure. Because remember, the US was for the Red Indians. We have got so many people from all over who live in the US. People from all over, by the way, from Africa. We have got the black Americans. They came from Africa. So US kinda is a no man's land. So we have to pray for the US and hope for the best. Remember when I was teaching about the green card application last time, I was saying, do never ignore things when they happen. If there is green card lottery and you love it, do not say, I'm going to wait for next time. Because you never know what next time can bring. For example, the president can sit and say, even if he cannot abolish it, he cannot remove it, he can add rules that are more strict. He can, for example, say, if you want to apply for the green card, you have to have a bachelor's degree. That one, it's just a by the way, because I'm not sure also. He can say, if you want to apply for a green card now, you must have a bachelor's degree, because we want people who are very ready to go to the US, for example. So that's what I remember when I was telling you people, kindly apply, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Anyway, let us pray unto God. Because remember, the door that God opens, no one can close it. If He opens for you a door in the US, no one can close it. If God opens for you a door in Canada, no one can close it. If at all you are genuine and authentic, you have to be authentic and genuine. Because remember, everything in this life is ours. It belongs to us also. Because everything that is here on earth belongs to God. So do not panic. We have got options everywhere as long as you follow the right path. Because remember, I'm a teacher of authenticity. Never follow the wrong paths. Because I've seen people very many times. I have intercepted very many people with wrong documents. Wrong documents. Someone comes and tells you, because a US passport is a global passport, I can make you something like that look like that so that you can go to the US. Remember, that one is very wrong. You are going to get into trouble for no reason. Do never do that. If you want to go to the US, apply for the visa, go to the embassy. If you are denied, wait. If you are given, proceed. If you want to go to European territories, come with a genuine visa. Do never come with a fake visa. Do never be cheated by the you waste your money. Somebody makes you a counterfeit visa. Counterfeit documents cannot travel. Neither can you travel with your friend's passport because you think you look alike. Always be authentic in all your endeavors. Remember, I tell you, even God is authentic. God never does meanderings. So if you meander, God will never be there, my dear. So do never try that, because I have seen that in the airport, people coming with fake documents. Fake documents can't travel. Yes, it's not. It is not. It shouldn't be. It should never be. You have to have genuine, valid documents. So before you visit any country, always inquire the requirements. Never ignore or assume that that country is okay. You have to inquire. What do they need when I'm arriving? So I think that is good for today. I know it has opened someone's eyes regarding our phenomenal Kenya. There's a time I'll come and talk at length about Mombasa only, but today it was random. Nowadays I'm doing random because I've got visitors. No, I have got my viewers who are from everywhere. I have viewers from Caribbean. I have viewers from Germany. I have viewers from Brazil. I saw even Brazil. I have viewers from India. So I cannot only talk about people going to visit the US and Canada. I'm gonna talk about people coming to visit Kenya also. So I'm gonna come another time and talk about Mombasa. And I shall also be doing videos regarding visa requirements in countries going to Europe, and because that one was my main the main reason that I started this channel, so that I can educate people who normally have got wrongful documents, which they think they are travel documents. Not all documents can travel anyway. People normally come with wrongful documents, assuming that because they come from the US, they can arrive, they can go back with those documents. And I shall come one day and make a very detailed video regarding the US documents. Yeah, thank you so much, Velma. Thank you. It's good always to be informed. Yes. Because when you are informed, it is cheaper. Remember, time is money. When you don't waste time, you save a lot of money. When you come late and waste time, remember it can cost you money. Because remember, there are people who normally come, they lose their whole ticket. You bought a ticket with a certain flight, not all the flights. There are some when you miss the flight, you just change the reservation at a fee, which is not very cheap. But there is a flight, I know that when you lose that ticket you cannot get that money. That one is gone, you have to buy a new one. So time is money. It's always good to save time and to follow the procedures. Otherwise, Velma, thank you so much for your love, my dear. I shall continue teaching even of visa requirements. I shall teach about travel rules, because that is my niche and that is what I do, by the way. This one is not, I don't get from anywhere. This is what I do all the time. Yeah, to date. Until when God will tell me now stop and do something else. Oh, you are going for dinner. Wow, that's nice. Thank you so much. I wish I could be able to fly to that dinner. What have you made for dinner, Velma? What have you made for dinner? I wish I would be able to fly for dinner, by the way. I have not even taken supper. I would come there running if it was very delicious. But I know I'm very far from where you live anyway. We shall plan one day, by the way, and do some. Maybe we have some. We can plan one day, Velma, and we take something, by the way. Yeah, it's good, by the way. Friendship is powerful. And God joins people with a purpose, by the way. I shall plan one day and invite you for maybe for dinner or something. Yeah, it is fun, by the way. This life is about enjoying ourselves in the right way. Loving others is very powerful. Doing things the right way, because when you do things the right way, you'll never feel guilty. Yes, when you do things the right way, you'll never feel guilty. So Velma, one day I'll prepare dinner. Maybe you can even go to remember I talked about the 1-star hotel in Nairobi. I talked about the 0-star. I talked about the 2-star, the 3-star, the 4-star, the 5-star. We can go in any. We can even go to 5 or even 0. Even 0, they have good food. I told you we have Uji Power in the 0-star hotel. And they are nice. Yeah, we can enjoy ourselves in those. Yeah, so God is good. Have a nice time. I'm gonna quit because I can see we have no questions. I'll come with another video regarding Mombasa and regarding traveling. I'll continue teaching about traveling forever and ever more. Traveling to Spain, to Italy, the requirements, the best transit points, because there are some people who cannot transit some points with a Type C visa for Schengen, and that is another big problem. The Schengen Type C visa, yes, it's not like the D. People normally buy a wrong routing with the Schengen Type C visa. I'm going to talk about that another time because I don't want to continue. Otherwise, have a nice time, Velma. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much for your kindness, and may the Lord bless you. Those who will come later to watch this video, kindly subscribe and like, and may the Lord open for you doors that no one can close. May He protect you all the time under His wings. And in Jesus' name I pray this. Amen.